Okay, so there's something we haven't really talked about here on Farm Traveler at all, and it's this weird yet crazy interesting new technology that's going on in the food science industry. So you've heard of, regular meat, like beef, chicken, pork, and then you've got plant-based proteins like the Impossible Burger, where they're made from plants to taste like meat. And those are made in the lab. But what about animal meat that's made in a lab? So that's something called cultured proteins, and that's something that's really going on. So in our guest today, we're going to talk with a guy named Alex, and he's really kind of an expert when it comes to a lot of cultured meat things. He's to help start a symposium about people in the industry getting together, and he also has a book called Where Do Hot Dogs Come From, which is a book for kids and students interested in learning more about the future of food, the future of farming and agriculture, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, what do you think about it? Do you think this is a cool technology? It's real meat made in a lab. You don't need animals, but you kind of do, but we might not in the future. It's interesting. So here's a quick little clip of my interview with Alex as we're chatting about this technology, where it's come from, where it's going, and just kind of, yeah, it's interesting. I'm very curious to see where we go from here and what the next like 5 or 15 years are going to be like. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm curious about too. Like what stage are they at now in terms of processing it and kind of developing it? Is it more along the lines of just making it more efficient, or is it kind of focusing more on the texture and making sure the nutrients are all there, or is it kind of a mix of both?
I think that most of the companies at this stage know that once they are able to get to a larger scale, that texture and flavor is not going to be as big of a problem.
Mm,
And I think I'm saying that because we're seeing that even on the plant based side of things, we're able to achieve pretty high quality. Again, it's not going to be the same exact experience as like, going to a steakhouse or having a pretty high quality burger, but they're able to kind of adjust that to a point where somebody would be able to say, "Oh, this is really meat." But I would say that the stage that most companies that are a little bit further along are at this point is being able to scale
mm,
and really have efficiency in this type of scale. And so when we look at, I guess, pilot scale or commercial scale, this is something that requires lots of energy, lots of equipment, a lot of equipment that today is only used for the pharmaceutical industry, which means that to get to kind of a food grade level, maybe new equipment needs to be made. So we're seeing teams with mechanical engineers, new fabrication of different tanks and bioreactors and different kinds of things like that.
So this is clearly a super duper difficult to understand topic, very complicated, a lot of science going in there. But I mean, on top of that, you co-wrote a children's book, which kind of simplifies the whole process, and it's called "Where Do Hot Dogs Come From?" And so, what was the whole process about that? Like taking this very complicated idea and then putting it into a book, which the reviews seem like it's been phenomenal, and kids are really loving it and learning from it. So, what was that whole process like?
Well, I think, it really stemmed from the idea that we would go to these scientific conferences and the presenters would really say that, with the research that we're doing today, we can see that maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, that this product would be more widely available, right?
Hmm.
And so we thought, okay, in the next 10 to 15 years, who's going to be a big spender of food products? And what we see in the food space is that category of kind of teenagers to young adults are really big spenders on food products, especially new food products. And so, if you look at the children of today, anywhere between age 3 to 7, where are they going to be in the next 10 to 15 years? They're going to be making these food choices. And so we wanted to be able to create a book that simplifies the ideas of cultured meat and really opens up the idea that you can have meat that doesn't necessarily need to come from slaughter. And so far it's been quite interesting. We did want to kind of poke at those who are very against this technology, and so the title is "Where Do Hot Dogs Come From?" Something that nobody really wants to know the answer to. But what you'll see in the book is that we don't actually talk about where hot dogs come from. We look into this kind of futuristic world where this technology is available.
Yeah, that's very interesting, that viewpoint of some people don't like cultured meat. And I mean, I feel like there's definitely a mix of people that don't like it, just like there's a mix of people that don't like animal protein and stuff like that. So, I mean, normal, traditional animal protein that requires slaughter and processing and all that. Do you see cultured meat as an eventual replacement for that, or do you see it as another product that consumers can have at the store, in addition to things like plant based proteins?
Yeah, I think this is a good question, and I think it's also an interesting topic because, like you said, there are people that are have strong feelings about it. And so, to answer your question directly, I would say that right now we are seeing that the demand for meat is going up quite a bit. And
Hmm.
so, at this stage, what I believe is that new technologies, whether it's plant based or cultured meat, or other technologies to create meat or meat like products are going to start emerging and going into the market, displacing some of this need. But we'll also see that the need for traditional animal agriculture will reduce a little bit. And I think that we're starting to see that with consumer trends, especially of the kind of millennial or Gen Z, with decision making for choosing chicken over beef because it's a little bit more sustainable. So, do I think traditional animal agriculture will go away completely? No, but do I think that maybe large scale animal agriculture could be displaced with one of these new technologies? I definitely think that's an option.
So yeah, very very interesting stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. This is something I really didn't know a whole lot about, and Alex really helped me understand the technology better, the processes better, and really what the industry is doing. So if you liked it, like this video, leave a comment. If you have a question, seriously, if you want to talk about cultured meats, let me know in the description. I think it'd be very interesting to find out more. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.